get your city to look from this to this with the amazing photo tools in City Skylines 2. Hi, this is Tommy from Cities with Tommy, and I'm here to show you my city of Lake Dunlap, how I created this in the photo mode. So first you have to access the photo mode, and we will check some of the settings to recreate this. I will check the sensor type to be 35mm aperture. Then I need to scroll up to get as high as I can go. And to recreate the feeling that you're inside an airplane and looking far in the map, we have to adjust the focal length. I will go around 12mm of focal length. Okay. Especially if you are cropping your image into an Instagram format like a square or 4:5 ratio, you will probably need to go this wide, but you can also adjust this, but I would suggest you try around 12mm. Next, we will create the feeling of the depth of field, so we will activate the manual mode. Then we will check these 4 boxes: near range start, near range end, far range start, and far range end. I have already made the settings for these, so the first one tells what is this is probably in meters, so how close the blurring effect starts, and this is where it ends as a crispy image. Okay, so this is the far range, so it's around here where the image starts to get blurry, and this is the far end, this is the maximum, so it automatically blurs everything. And now I need to adjust the max near blur. I will put it like 1, and the max far blur 1.7. And next we will jump in to the color adjustments. As you can see, this photo is not so bright, so I need to bring the brightness up and maybe adjust the tones into a warmer tone as well. I will click on the post exposure. On default it's 0, so this is where we start, and I will adjust it to around 1.4. This is quite okay. Next, we will add some contrast to give it that pop effect. And for contrast, I'm using around 25. The white balance is a great tool to control how blue or warm tones your image has. So I will activate the temperature, and I'm using around 21 for the temperature. And if I go on the minus side, it goes into the bluer tones, so the plus tones, the positive number is warmer tones. Let's go around 21. Okay, here are the settings for the color, and next we want to add those gorgeous clouds, because at this moment we are only seeing some of the shadows. Those clouds are way up high in the picture. So here's how we do it. First I add some of the distance clouds, and this is just to create some kind of 3-dimensional effect on the water. I will use the cirrus clouds. So the moment I just activated them, check out this reflection in the sea. It gives some kind of light and boost, and I think that creates a really nice effect on this image. The volumetric clouds are the ones that are creating the shadows in the land, but on default they are really high, so we need to bring them down. There is a setting called bottom altitude, and when I activate it and set this around 500 to 700 meters, that's the key to get those clouds in the image. Let's go for a 625 in this photo. Next we go up to the volumetric cloud settings. Here we can set the density, shape factor, and sometimes if you like you can check the scale, but let's activate the density and I will show you how it affects. When you push it to the 1.0, those clouds are very dense. It's very hard to see through them. So I would suggest you would lower this maybe around 0.2. That's looking much better, and it's more translucent, so you can actually see through them. Then we will change the shape factor, and this is a great tool to change how much of the clouds you are seeing. So if I bring it down, you get more of the clouds. If I bring it up, you get less of the clouds, and the maximum is 1.0. So this is the minimum setting for this one. I would go maybe 0.85, 0.79. This is starting to look good. Okay. And there's a cool option to control the shadow opacity. So when we click this, and if we put it on 0, there's no shadow on the land. So this is a great tool to set the three-dimensional effect. The 1.0 is the maximum. That's looking okay too, but I will go like 0.99 something. And there is only one more setting I will check from the environment setting, and this is the time of the day, because you know you have your sun in the sky on different time of day, and I'd like to set the sun a little bit lower to create some shadows from the tallest buildings. So let's activate this one, and let's try different settings. Here's like a really early morning. The sun is quite low, but it's a little too low maybe. Here you can see some of the shadows from the buildings. Those give the great three-dimensional look I'm looking for. So yeah, this is starting to look great. You might notice when you're moving around, there's some kind of little artifacts going around with the volumetric clouds. So every time you take a screenshot, I would just suggest you would stop for a few seconds and get the clouds do their thing, and those will eliminate the artifacts. Okay, so let's get a good view. This looks great. I'll take a photo, and now I will just deactivate everything so you will see how big of an effect they created. So first I will take the time of the day, Then I will take the volumetric cloud settings. The bottom altitude lifts those clouds up. Shadow opacity, that's not creating too much of a difference in this view. And yeah, there wasn't anything left on this. Ah, yes, there was. There was the distance clouds which created the effect in the water. Then there was the color adjustments. This really brings up the brightness in this scene, the post-exposure. Then the contrast. Then the temperature. And then the depth of field. Look especially on the farthest of the mountains there when I disable this. So those will come sharp when it's not applying the depth of field effect. I can disable these because when I disable this one, it is disabled them all. Okay, and then normally when you have this focal length setting, it's quite near, so when you adjust it to be like 12 millimeters focal length, that is quite wide angle lens then. So that's it. That's our secret for creating cool cloudy shots. So I hope you try this and get cool screenshots from your own city and post them online. Thank you for watching, and I'll hope you see you guys on the next one. Bye!